Ahoy, everybody, and welcome to episode 2 of Ask SeaTurtleWork. That's me. I'm SeaTurtleWork. I'm a little excited because it's the second episode. It's really exciting. So here I go. I'm just gonna dive right in with question. With the thing of the day. I had it and then I lost it. And so I said I wasn't going to cut anything, so I'm just going to keep moving on. Talk about the weather. Weather was very nice today. Very hot as usual. Hot. Why does Texas have to be hot? Why can't it be cold? Does it always have to be hot? I mean, what was it? A couple years ago, it was hot in summer. I mean, in winter. It's hot in winter. Why? The heat and cold ratios, they balance each other off because you got cold over here and hot over here. So if you have hot and cold, keep them apart. You don't want to let them mesh. Because that's how you get hurricanes. That's how you get tornadoes. It's from cold and hot mixing together, forming something that doesn't need to be there. Yeah. But other than that, just hot day here. Hot, bothered. But sun came up. That's good. Sun went down night before. Moon came up. Moon came down. Sun came up. Yeah, so everything's working like it should be. So I expect it to be hot for the next couple days. Hot, usual. Maybe we'll get some cloudage. That'll be nice. I like some cloudage. I like some rain. Really in due for some rain. Some rain would be nice. So, getting my AC fixed in my car because my AC was broken or something's wrong with it. There's a wire loose or something. So, having it fixed today, I'll let you know if it actually works. If they can actually fix it or not. I hope they can. Because you should have AC if you live in Texas. You can't do this. You can't be driving around in the heat. Ugh, even with 4 windows down. I only have 2 windows. 2 windows down. 4, 2. I only have 2 windows. Even when I roll those down. It's just not enough air circulating and I sweat while I'm driving, and that's dangerous because I can get a bead of sweat in my eye and that's gonna sting, man. Oh, is it gonna burn in my eye socket? So that could cause me to have a car crash. That's why I need some AC, because without AC I could get in a car crash. And I've been going so long with no AC, and I haven't gotten a car crash. Just saying, that's how talented I am when it comes to driving, because, you know, I can manage the pain and drive at the same time. I can do that. Something that I can do. What can you do? Can you do something? I don't know. You're just a camera right now. Just a camera. It's actually not as hard as you think, talking to a camera. Once you get moves in and along, it actually is kind of good, but then you kind of get kind of awkward because you're like, oh yeah, after all, it is just a camera and I am talking to myself here. So, what's new today? What's new? Nothing really that interesting, I guess. So we'll just get right on to the question. And the question comes from Facebook, from a girl named Erica. And she says, okay, my question is, out of a hurricane, tornado, and earthquake, which is the worst And why is it the worst? That is amazing, because I was just talking about that moments ago. Are you reading my mind? Are you reading my mind? It's crazy. But I'll answer this question. But I'll have to read it again. Out of a hurricane, tornado, and earthquake, which is the worst? And why is it the worst? Okay, well, you have a hurricane, obviously. Hurricane comes from water. That's why hurricane coming from the water and it's coming up on shore, okay? So if it's coming up and it comes up on land, then it's knocking everything down. And it can do a big wipe of big surface area, right? So it can get a lot of damage for the amount of space, for the amount of travel. It's just traveling, and it can get a massive area because they get very, very large because they come from the ocean. The ocean is huge, it's mass. So you got your hurricane. It's gonna mess up some things pretty bad. A lot of wind, debris. A tornado. A tornado now, it comes from above, and that's when you got hot and cold coming together, and they mix like this, and they start spinning because they don't like each other. Bad blood, I think. They start mixing around, and all of a sudden it forms this horrible twister, and it bounces around, and it's going from place to place, and it can totally miss you, or it can get you. That's the weird thing with a tornado. It's different from a hurricane. Instead of a tornado, it's going to dodge itself. It's going to go over here. It's going to go over here. It's going to go over here. So you could be in this middle strip and not even get touched because it's bouncing around. It's moving around. Could just go straight on through. Who knows? Who knows? It's a tornado. You know, it's going to do what it does. But unlike a hurricane can get a massive amount of stuff. The tornado can too, but it's got to move more to get the amount of damage. Now, an earthquake is when the earth itself shakes. And that's pretty remarkable because here you have tectonic plates, traits, something like that, and they're moving. And that's actually causing everything to shake. Remarkable that you could live through something like that. But you can, and stuff still stands. But you don't have as much aftermath. Sometimes you do. Sometimes you do. Sometimes you have horrible buildings coming down. And that's one thing that the hurricane and the tornado really don't do. They can do a lot of damage, but they can't actually take down buildings. So, I would have to say an earthquake would be the worst, because that can do the most. You can actually make buildings fall. Well, because tornadoes can destroy houses, but I don't think I ever heard of it actually taking down, a skyscraper or something like that. An earthquake can do that. Earthquake rumbles and everything just tumbles to the ground. So, I would have to say a tornado would be the worst. That would be the worst because it can do the most damage, because it is seen the most. Not many people, earthquakes happen very rarely throughout the years, hurricanes happen very rarely, but there's months actually devoted to tornadoes. And it's a constant thing that constantly happens. You can go years without seeing hurricanes, years without seeing earthquakes. Tornadoes happen all the time. So for that, the tornadoes are constantly everywhere. I'm going to say tornadoes. That's probably what we spend most money on, rebuilding houses and doing things like that, is because tornadoes keep coming through and destroying stuff and rebuild it and knocks it back down again. I mean, you might have a chance with a hurricane or an earthquake, but Tornadoes, they'll just keep moseying on through. Yep. Tornado, that's my answer. I'm thirsty. Talking up a storm here. So, excellent question. Loved it. Keep sending me those questions. I'll keep sending you out those answers. You can follow me on Instagram at SeaTurtleWork. I forgot to mention that this Thursday I will be taking on the Cinnamon Challenge. That's right. I'm going to do the Cinnamon Challenge. So make sure you tune in and watch me on Thursday attempt this daring feat. Text me those questions. Post some pictures on Instagram. Ask your questions. And I'll send them out. See y'all next time.